Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader, and today we're going to be talking about my January reading wrap-up and my February TBR. As usual, I have a ambitious TBR for February, the shortest month of the year, but also my birthday month, so I feel fairly confident that I will do a good job with this month. I mean, I've already read a lot of good books so far, so I'm pretty happy about that. But January, I did manage to read quite a bit, but it wasn't until like half of the month was over. It was very weird. I was in a bit of a reading slump. I was kind of just stuck on this one book that I really enjoyed, but I didn't feel the desire to pick anything else up and really like stick with it. I think once I finished one of these books, that's when I started to feel a little bit better and I picked up momentum, but it was slow going. But I did manage to read a lot, so I'm happy about that. January was really great. Even though I experienced a reading slump, January was a good month. I had my first productivity sprint with Bonnie. That was so much fun. I know I mentioned that in my last video. I celebrated my sister's birthday. She came down here. I got to meet her other friends. Y'all know I love my sister, so it was just very fun. January was a good month. Now we're in February, so we got to talk about everything we read over there and what we're going to be reading here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to rapid fire through some of these because, as y'all know, I'm in the middle of reading some series that are ongoing that are pretty long. And starting off, we're going to go with volumes 9 and 10 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Still really enjoying the series, but like the meme says, it's almost like you have to do math when you're reading this, and it feels like that, and I hate math. Although I do like Jujutsu Kaisen. So far, this character, when everything pops off with this, that's pretty crazy. We had a little, sleeper agent amongst Jujutsu High. Pretty crazy, but I'm liking it. Now, even though my momentum is very slow with this, obviously it's not that bad because as of right now, it's only 21 volumes. Still ongoing, obviously, but I can read that. So even though it's slow, I'm gonna keep going. Still enjoying it, but I don't see myself sitting down and binging JJK. I just don't. It's not a bad thing, but I just don't see myself, so it's going to be slow. I will most likely keep reading it during the month of February. Same thing with Bleach. It's slow going reading this, but I'm okay with that. I'm still enjoying Bleach. I'm almost done, in a way. Obviously, I have like many more volumes to go for this one box set, but after that I'm done, so it's like I can do this. But I don't think that I will be prioritizing that in the month of February. I mean, it just is what it is. I don't see it happening, but that's okay. I got to volume 9 of Kaiju number 8, still really enjoying it. Got to volume 6 of Dan Da Dan, still really enjoying it. I got to volume 7 of Spy Family, still really enjoying it. I wonder when I'm going to finally watch the anime. I watched the first episode and I thought it was really cute. I'm not in the mood to watch that right now for some reason, but I do want to watch it. But like I said before, y'all better watch the Apothecary Diaries. I have a new episode to watch tonight, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, still loving Spy Family. I really do think that I could pull the last like remaining volumes that I have right now and kind of push through it because it is fun to read. As of right now, it's like only, I think 10 volumes, 9 or 10. I think that's the 10th volume right there. So I think I can do it. Same thing with Mashal, still really enjoying this series. I have everything up to what was just recently released, so I think I'm making good progress with Mashal. It's a nice one to read when I just need something funny. There's the like showdown battle between the two, like it's almost like Gryffindor versus Slytherin, basically. But I'm liking where Mashal is going because we just got introduced a few volumes ago to like the badass villain character, and they're very badass, and it's a really cool story. So I'm enjoying it. I like Mashal. I would recommend it. And it's another one that I really do want to watch the anime. I just haven't sat down and like watched past the first episode, but it was very funny. I would recommend it. Yes, I did manage to read something new. I read 2 of the first volume of Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide. This was really cute. I'm enjoying this so far. I have the first 3 volumes. Basically, you're following these 2 friends, possible lovers, maybe married. We just kind of like dip a toe in what's going on with their relationship. But they were friends growing up for the most part. one being more popular than the other. They connect again later on in life. They are traveling around the world right now, and there is more to the relationship than one is willing to like openly expose, just out of fear, but I think like, I don't want to say which one of the young men clearly has like liked the other one for a very, very long time. And now that this relationship is happening, you can tell that he feels a bit uncomfortable, but like he wants to really give his all to this. Now, is there something else going on? It almost feels like someone's gonna die. Someone has like an incurable disease and they're gonna die after this trip, but I don't know yet. But so far it is really good. It's nice to read and watch and see them go to all of these different countries. So far I think they hit 3 in this volume, and it's like informative and they meet cool people, cool young people, and it's really nice. So I did enjoy this. I can't wait to continue. And I also read Mr. Villain's Day Off. Devin got this for me for Christmas, and really short. I finished this very quickly and I was happy with it. So it's nice. He's obsessed with panda bears, and I thought that was very cute. It was a nice little easy thing to read when I felt like, okay, I want to read something, but I don't want to like get into reading like JJK, you know, where it's going to feel like it's taking me a lot longer to get through this because of all of like the domain expansion, like no hate, just saying like it's a lot. But this was really good. But I'm really proud of myself because I did complete a series, and that was Gangsta Cursed. I read the first volumes of this. This is the prequel to Gangsta, and it was really, really good. I feel like it really reminded me of Akame ga Kill 0. So the prequel to Akame ga Kill. Basically, you are introduced to our main character, Marco, which at first, like, I got lost at one point, I think in volume 3. I was like, wait, Marco's not Nick? Nick from Gangsta? He's not. He's a completely different character. And I was like, okay, I really do need to read Gangsta after this, because did I remember meeting Marco? I don't fucking remember, but Marco, he's a young man. He's a part of like this mini assassin group, so to speak, and he and like 4 or 5 of the other people within this group are tasked with killing Twilights. Twilights are essentially like people that have some powers, and they're heavily oppressed and discriminated against within this world. There is some big event going on. You don't know the plot of what is like the deeper plot of what's going on. We just know that Marco and these other people need to kill Twilights, cause a ton of chaos, but for what, we don't exactly know. Marco obviously has been raised and kind of manipulated and brainwashed into feeling like him killing these people is what needs to happen. It doesn't. Just so you know, it doesn't. And because he's only been surrounded by these other like bloodthirsty people, very, very psychotic, he's just killed and like never done it. Like he's never seen like humans interact with Twilights. They're the same fucking thing. But when he is going into like this community and killing Twilights, he sees that they're living with humans, and he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because humans should hate Twilights. Why are some of these humans protecting them? Why are some of them married to them? Why do they have kids with them? And it really like breaks his brain, basically, to where he's in the midst of killing these people and he's like, wait, no, something's wrong here. So he kind of switches sides, and that's the story of Gangsta Cursed. And I watched the anime Gangsta, and it's really good, but it wasn't completed. That's why I wanted to read Gangsta. So I will be starting Gangsta later today. I already read the first volume, and obviously I know for the most part what happens because I watched the anime, but I'm excited to read past what they kind of ended on in the anime. But yeah, I would recommend Gangsta Cursed and Gangsta. I think it's really good. Bloody, for sure. So if you like violence, you'll like Gangsta Cursed. If you don't, just be forewarned. It's very like heads get chopped off. Okay, it's crazy. Content warning for crazy shit. And now for the books I read. So I finished One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This is the one where I was reading this in January and I started it in December. And even though I was really enjoying myself, I felt like, am I in a reading slump? Because I'm reading, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. Eventually, I finally picked up pace, and this was so good. I would rate this, honestly, I would rate this 5 stars. 4.755 stars, what have you. But this was really, really good. I really enjoyed this story. I'm excited to see where it goes. I already have the second book, and I said last month that I knew that I wasn't going to finish the second book, but I was going to start the second book in January, and I did, and so far I like it. But this was really good. So I was going to try to explain this, but I realized I'm going to go on a weird tangent. And I'm going to either tell you exactly what happens in the book, or I'm not going to make any sense. So I'm going to read the back because that will be far less ridiculous. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. A maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. Yep, summed it up really well. This was really good. Did I mention that I would rate this 5 stars? If I didn't, I would. I thought that this was really good, and I can't wait to finish this duology because I know this is going to be really good. Everybody was saying like the second book was so good. I feel confident that I'm going to like the way it ends, and especially because of what happens at the end of this book. Sweet justice. But then like, no, that's not what I wanted to happen. But so far so good. I like this and I would recommend it. Next was the nonfiction book I read. I finally read They Called Me Lioness, A Palestinian Girl's Fight for Freedom by Ahed Tamimi and Dina Takuri. This was really good. Now, as I've said in the past, when it comes to nonfiction, memoirs, it's hard to say like, I rate that 5 stars, because like 5 stars for what I just said for One Dark Window is different in a way than 5 stars for this, if that makes sense. But this was fantastic. I would recommend that everybody reads this book. It's short. It would be quick for you to get through, in my opinion. I tabbed this, and the green is for something that's like a fact or a law, and then the orange was something that was interesting that happened to Ahed or something very sad. So Ahed and her family are from the West Bank in Palestine, and she lives in a village called Nabi Saleh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but with like, she can see not that far away from her a settler village, which they're supposed to be illegal, and how she's talking about her experience of it encroaching on her village. Things get taken away from them, how unfair things were, the night raids, when her village and other, villages within Palestine started to protest more, how she and her family kind of became, I don't want to say more popular, but like more recognized. So a lot of people started, when the protest started happening, started filming things and they would put it online, which is a big thing of what we're seeing now and why so many more people are more aware of what is going on. But in her case, her family started to film it. It's interesting because like when she was younger, there's this image of her like cocking that fist back ready to pop a dude, but she is very fair and has blonde hair. And people years later thought that she was Ukrainian and that this was a Ukrainian girl doing this. So it's so interesting that only like a year or so ago, her image was used incorrectly and everybody rallied behind that. But come on now. Okay. I don't need to go into what the hell, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. It's very interesting. She talks about her time in prison. She was arrested as a minor tried in military court. She talks about the torture that she endured, the torture that her mother endured, the torture that all of the young women and men, people in her family, cousins, friends, endured in these prisons, the unfairness, the lack of food, the lack of proper medical assistance, just everything. And it was so utterly sad. It was also like, I cried when we find out about her uncle and what happens to her uncle and how he was murdered in front of his mother, in front of his sister, her mother. And the reason why she ended up in prison or jail, I'm not sure if you would make the distinction between either, because I know like that's different here, but her cousin was shot, almost killed by a soldier. She rightfully is mad. People are trying to hide outside of her house. And she's like, no, get the fuck out of here, okay? Smackaroony. Puncharoony. I can't fault somebody for feeling that way, okay? You just shot someone that is my family. But anyway, she just talks about how shit goes down there, how the government works there, how things are very unfair. And that is why I think stuff like this needs to be read, okay? Very few people, especially in America, know what is going on in other parts of the world, especially from the mouth of the people that are experiencing it. And we know that oftentimes the person that is doing the abusing is the one who gets to control the narrative. We know how abusive people work, we know how bullies work, and they can get away with it a lot of the time. And part of the reason why they go so hard is because they can't have people who are actually oppressed, actually being bullied. I mean, bullied is such like, it's so much more than just bullied, but for this analogy, I don't know what the right word is, but for this commentary, we don't often hear that person express themselves and be able to give their account. And, you know, we shouldn't have to wait for people to not be here anymore for us to take their account seriously. I have people in my life whom I love who have experienced abusive relationships, and I don't see how anybody could not be on the side of the person who has been victimized, the side of the victim, personally. But who am I? So with that being said, I think everybody should read this, okay? Please do, especially because not long after what happened last year, she was rearrested for nothing. For nothing. She hadn't done anything, but she was arrested again, and she spent time in jail prison for however long. It was like a few weeks or so, a week maybe at the minimum, a few weeks at the most. She was released. She looked a mess. She looked awful. So if you want to do some more research about it, do that, because you can absolutely find out more. AJ Plus is a good Instagram to follow, Twitter, TikTok. In my opinion, it's been very informative, especially if you feel like everything is too overwhelming to learn. I think that they have done a really good job of breaking things down so that it's very easy for people to understand, in my opinion. But yes, I loved that book. Very sad. So be prepared if you read it for injustice, death of family members, torture, dehumanization. Like, it's just very sad, but I do think that it is one of those books where you should read it. That's just my opinion. So let's get into everything I want to read in February. So keeping with the, okay, let me start reading stuff that's a little bit shorter. I don't remember if this is completed. This might not be the final volume, but it's okay if it's not. If anything, it maybe is only one more after this, but I don't see final volume on here. That's fine. Anyway, I picked out The Summer You Were There. I have the first 3 volumes. I already started it last night, and it's really good. We're following 2 like schoolgirls, teenagers, and Shizuku is shy. She clearly has something going on with her. We haven't really explained what it is because I only made it to like this far, so not very far. But she definitely feels like something's going on with her that's very personal. And there is someone in her class named Kaori who keeps being nice to her. And it's throwing Shizuku off because she's like, I don't know about you. I don't trust you. She writes this story, this first draft of her first book, and she wants to destroy it after she's printed it off. she doesn't get a chance to destroy it before she gets it and reads it. And then she says she loves it. She decides that she wants to be like, hey, Shizuku, I really loved your book. I want to read more from you. I also think we should date. Shizuku's like, what the fuck? And it's interesting because I'm nervous that this is going to end like I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, which ruined my life that day. I just get a weird feeling that that's what's going to happen in this. And I'm going to be very sad, but I am excited to read this. I mean, the first 3 volumes, I'm sure I'm going to have like some sad feelings going on, but yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Almost to the first volume and I'm liking it. If you've read this, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to know if also, I know I should have done my research if this was the last volume. Either way, I have 3. I'm going to read 3, but if you liked it, let me know. I didn't want to bring everything that sits in stacks on either side of me in the living room. So I'm just going to say what else I want to read that's manga. Obviously, I want to continue on with Jujutsu Kaisen. I want to continue on with Bleach. Those 2, very slow going. Same thing with One Piece. I still need to pick up volume 64. I am not done with Fishman Island. I'm very disappointed in that. I really just need to hunker down and maybe I will commit myself to doing that today. Like I need to get through volume 64 because I'm almost done with that arc. It's taking a while, but I'm going to get there. I also want to finish Spy Family. Like I said, I'd like to read some more of our Not So Lonely Planet travel guide. I've got some other like things that I want to, like Tista is only 2 volumes. So I'm like, I might as well read Tista so I can say that I've learned something, but it's also a short series. I have some shorter GL series that I'd like to pick up, but I was in here earlier today and I was like, okay, I need to finish Platinum End. Okay. It's only 14 or so volumes, maybe 13. And I'm on volume 6. I'm so close to being done and that's a completed series. So I want to commit in this short ass month to finishing Platinum End. I really, really need to because I just need to. I just feel like I need to do that. And from there, I don't know, I'll pick up anything at this point. I don't even know what's in these 2 giant stacks on the other side of me. I think it's Mashal, some other like romance series. I think I took Futari Escape out. Damn, I don't even know. I got so much shit in here, but either way, I got a lot to choose from, so I didn't want to bring it all here, but you'll see. I'm going to try to do a reading vlog at sometime this month, because it is my birthday month, so I'd like to have a break. But, yeah. Take a shot every time I say but. How many times have I said but this video? Jeez. Anyway, now let's get into the regular books, okay? Because I actually am committed to reading more physical books and I'm excited about it. So obviously I've got to read 2 Twisted Crowns. I would like to finish that this month. This is the 2nd book and the last book in this duology and everybody says that this is really good. So I feel like I'm going to like it. So I want to read this. Pulling out a non-fic, I'm going to be reading White Tears, Brown Scars, How White Feminism Betrays Women of Color by Rumi Hamad. I'm excited to read this. I've had this for a while and this isn't even that long. I think it's just over 200 pages. So, this is not the longest month to really sit and really read something. Oh yeah, it's like 250 pages. I think that I can get pretty far in this, so I'm committed to reading this. I also really want to read A Vicious Game by Melissa Blair, the Halfling Saga. This is book 3. So I've listened to this every other time and I really like the audiobook, but I've been debating on if I want to get the other 2 books, and this came out a little bit early. It releases on the 6th and I was like, shit, let me see if I can get this early too, and I did. So I do want to start reading this because I love this series. I think more people should read this. It's really good. I'm sorry if you are reading everything else, okay, that we have to keep saying something to you about because, some of these authors are trying to exploit the death of a Black woman to sell a book. I think that we can stop reading that author and promoting that author and start promoting this Indigenous author because this is a really good fucking series so far. Personally, just saying. But with that being said, I will be reading A Vicious Game and I think it's gonna be good. And I'm still on the fence. Like, I still might get it as an audiobook. I don't know, because I love audio. The first 2 books are actually on Hoopla. as audiobook, so maybe I'll just listen to them on there instead of buying it since I have the physical one. We'll see, because you know, I never know what the hell's going on with me. I could just buy, I'm liable to buy anything if I'm feeling like it. So yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to end up getting to this, but I would like to start Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. I think I had said that I wanted to read this last month and I didn't. That's okay. It is a little bit on the longer side, so it's over 300 pages. Oh, it's over 400 pages actually. But we'll see, you know. I could get really into this and just binge read this like nobody's business. But I do want to at least start it this month. So this one I have physically, but I also have this as an audiobook on Hoopla, so I actually think I might listen to it. But that is Invisible No More, Police Violence Against Black Women and Women of Color. Black women, girls, and trans folks get locked up and shot down too, by Andrea J. Ritchie. This is... wow, oh my gosh, this isn't even long. I might not even listen to this. This is less than 200 pages. I didn't even realize. Okay, maybe a little bit more than 200 pages. Keep going. Keep going. It's less than 250 pages. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a half and half. I'm gonna start reading it. I have a few extra like borrows available for Hoopla, so I feel okay. This is in my like favorites that I would like to borrow. So I think I'm gonna see what I'm feeling like. The font isn't too small. That's the thing with nonfiction sometimes. If the font's a little bit too small and it feels like you're really reading a textbook, it's hard for me to like read it quickly. And that's just me. That's just my problem. But I do want to read that for this month. I also have a nonfiction book that my mom chose for the book club, but I can't remember what the name of it is. It is by an author that we read before. I can't remember that person's name or what the next book is. Team Human, I think. I'll put a picture up. But that I will be listening to because it is on Hoopla. And I'm going to try to pick up another shorter nonfiction that I have in my collection. I just don't know what yet, because I would really like to read more nonfiction this month. Oh yeah, How All Politics Become Reproductive Politics, From Welfare Reforms for Foreclosure to Trump by Laura Briggs. There's like quite a few shorter nonfiction books that I have on my shelf, specifically here too, that I just haven't picked up, but I really need to. I really do need to. But yes, that is what I'm hoping to read in the month of February, my birthday month, Black History Month. All the best things about this month, y'all. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked the video, please like the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on other social media. It's in the description box down below. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.